How to interpret Bible parables. Imagine hearing a story that seems simple but holds a hidden message. Bible parables are just like that. They use everyday stories to teach spiritual lessons. But how do we understand what they really mean? That's what we're here to explore. First, recognize that parables are straightforward stories meant to reveal truths about God and life. Focus on the main message or lesson the story is trying to communicate. Don't get caught up trying to find meaning in every tiny detail. Instead, look for the core idea Jesus wanted to share. Understanding the time and culture when Jesus told these stories is very important. Knowing the customs, beliefs, and social environment helps clarify what the story would have meant to his original audience. For example, knowing what a Samaritan was in that time helps explain why the Good Samaritan was such a surprising hero. Next, identify the main characters or groups in the parable. Usually, each one stands for a bigger idea or moral. For example, in the parable of the lost son, the father, the son, and the older brother each representing different attitudes or spiritual truths. Most parables have one or two key lessons, so avoid overcomplicating the story by searching for multiple hidden meanings in minor details. Look at the context around the parable. Why did Jesus tell it? What was happening before and after? Sometimes, Jesus gives clues or explanations about what the story means. If he explains it directly, that's your best guide. If not, consider what the story would have meant to the people listening at that time. There are two common ways to interpret parables. One is the single point method, which sees the story as teaching one main lesson. The other is the allegorical method, which interprets many parts symbolically to uncover multiple layers of meaning. Use the approach that best fits the story's complexity. Always compare the parable's message with other parts of the Bible. Scripture is the final authority, so if a parable's meaning conflicts with other teachings, reconsider your understanding. Parables are meant to illustrate spiritual truths, not serve as the basis for formal doctrine. When studying a parable, read it carefully within its gospel. Identify who the characters are and what they representing. Find out what Jesus wanted his listeners to learn. Think about how that lesson applies today, showing how God's principles still work in our lives. By following these steps, you can understand Bible parables clearly and accurately. They become stories that reveal timeless truths, helping us see how God's message fits into our everyday lives.